Hey folks, it's Craig Bushon, again out at the Oasis, Blue Star Mothers. I have a veteran to my right that I want you to meet. He's somebody that many of you haven't met, probably most of you. And this is a person who served in the Army. His name is Scott Jackson. He's a veteran in the Armed Forces. I want to thank you to the show. Obviously it's Veterans Day today. What does Veterans Day mean to you specifically as a veteran?
Just remembering the people that have gone before us, and I come from a family where my grandfather served, my dad served, my uncles have served, and I've served for 17 years now. And just remembering where we're coming from and where we're going.
Well, a lot of people, we were talking earlier with the Blue Star Moms, and we were talking about how many people out there have veterans in their family that, maybe need assistance. Obviously, a lot of people are hearing about PTSD now, TBI. We're having a lot of battles happening, cycling of soldiers. In 17 years, that's a long time. So you've seen a lot of this stuff over the years. What do the people out there need to know that aren't engaged? What about 1% of our citizens at any given time are serving? What is it that folks need to know about, the veteran and their life, and especially the ones coming out that are suffering with some of these issues like PTSD and TBI? What are some of the things that they don't know?
There's a lot of pride issues with trying to deal with the problems they have on their own, and you have to understand that they need help, and if you push them towards that, and there's several agencies out there, VA, Wounded Warrior Association, all that stuff. If you push them towards that slowly, you can't force them on them. They have to do it on their own. But there is help out there, and they will get better.
Well, there is. I mean, right here locally, folks, you've heard me talk about my involvement with Heroes Night Out for the last 2 years, and there's a lot of organizations like HNO all over the United States. You do have to go out there and look. There's some of you out there who who are veterans, who don't want to walk into that government building. You may not trust what's going on in that building, and we found that that's a big issue out there, is trust. A lot of times I mean, we all have our specific opinions about the government as it is, but then once you serve and then you have to deal with them, every single day of your life, there's a lot of veterans out there that aren't reaching out because it's too cumbersome, or they just don't trust the system.
I understand that. The bureaucracy and the paperwork and red tape is a little mind-boggling, but there's also people out there that help you get through that. The Veterans Home, different veterans organizations, and you just have to make sure that your loved ones know that they have support out there and are not alone.
Absolutely, and a big key today, especially today on Veterans Day, is to a lot of folks like, wow, what can I do? And they'll see someone walk in, and they'll have, they'll be in uniform, okay, whether it's in a grocery store or if it's at a restaurant, and they feel like either maybe they're intimidated or they're afraid that they're bugging the particular person. That's not a bad thing for someone to do. Come up and shake your hand and say, hey, thank you so much for your service, or buy you lunch or buy you coffee. That's something that's good, right?
Yes, I used to live in Georgetown, down the street a little bit, and I would come from Fort Hood, and I'd go to H-E-B or go to one of the grocery stores just to stop by, get dinner from family and everything, and somebody would say, thank you for your service, and I would get this feeling of pride that somebody actually said something, instead of just walking through the store alone. And it's a little awkward to approach somebody in uniform, or maybe they have a T-shirt on that says they were somewhere like Iraq or Afghanistan. But we actually welcome people coming to talk to us.
Well, there you have it, folks. You see, Scott Jackson, 17 years, Army veteran. He says, hey, come on up, say hi. Listen, a pat on the back, a handshake, an attaboy, an attagirl, that's the way to do it. We got to do more of that in this country. I want to thank you so much. I want to shake your hand and thank you for your service, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your Veterans Day.
Thanks, Craig.
Absolutely. Well, there you have it, folks. I mean, there's nothing better than getting it right from the source.